by yourself. My windows ain't tinted, so I'm everywhere comfortable, but I'm still attentive. But I ain't stupid either. Never show up to that's hungry and eager. My brother's keeper, I'm loyal, it's all in my demeanor. The truth don't let opinions affect me. I do what I want to do. If they do or they don't accept me, they expect me to give up. I'm losing focus, stuck on that. It was smooth on the surface, but underneath it was broken. Hoping to find hope in this hopeless world we live in. What you give is what you given. Gotta make wise decisions. Gotta stay tunnel vision. Gotta avoid collision.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to...
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Blackwell. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First catch for
a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more there.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Looking to throw. Blackwell. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Throwing again. Blackwell. Yeah, he's got it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. In for the score. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff. Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big third down play there for the Panthers. 44 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation. 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal. He'll look to throw. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. DJ Moore, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. That time, a 9-play drive. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Operating from the gun, Blackwell. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he'll be brought down at the 45. Blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, the pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Back to throw. Blackwell. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch. Now, that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run.
And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really stretch your defense.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. So that'll get him to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his target. That's more. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he lost 6 there on the first down play.
All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56, Detroit, Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Bowen. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route. and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept him on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to throw. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. Third and long. They'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. So we've hit halftime here. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Looking to throw. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very solid gain of 27.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism. Great.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they want. Your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there. The draw. Drive will continue. It's a first down. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
From the gun, Blackwell. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call
receiver still gets a point there. Yeah. And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives a score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Being chased out left. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. As his guys are in for 6, and the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Back now in Tampa. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Let's go!
And he'll go on the ground. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Throwing on first down. Blackwell finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. To throw on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
All right, here we go.
On first down, Blackwell. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. Second goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it, And what are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flushed out right. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times. Looking
for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Panthers on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be third and forever. They'll look to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right.